we get into Survivor tonight is I'd like to go over decks that you should consider playing if you want to ladder successfully tomorrow. The meta has shifted with the nerfs. Rogue is basically extinct. And so I will give you guys the best decks that I have that I would consider playing tomorrow. So let's start with a deck that some would consider towards the top of the format, possibly one of the best in the format. The last great aggro deck, or at least one of the great aggro decks in Pirate Demon Hunter. I'm going to try this list tomorrow. You'll notice I did cut Ziliax toward the bottom of the list. I mean, the problem with this deck is it's probably got 22 to 26 like decent cards, and the rest of it's crap. And so what you fill in behind is kind of up to you. Take a dart, throw it at the dartboard. As long as you have Hosen Roughhouser, Sigil of Skydiving, Patches the Pilot, Treasure Distributor, these are the best cards in the deck. And then you're kind of filling in from there. So the filler that I'm adding Field of Strife. It's 2 mana cheaper than Ziliax usually, while also having lasting damage effect, making any of my little 1/1 boards that I'm going to make have a little bit more punch to them. And so I'm trying 2 Field of Strifes. I'm basically, the only cards I've changed from Femboy Germa's rank 1 list was I cut a Small Time Buck and I cut Ziliax for 2 Field of Strifes. I'm going to try that tomorrow. I'm going to see how it goes. Some version of this list is considered right now to be arguably the best deck in the format. But there's other possible options as far as which one is actually the best deck in the format. And to be honest, this is the 30 I'm going to give my wife to try tomorrow.
Me.
So she's going to get like her first Demon Hunter win ever probably
No,
tomorrow.
I'm definitely, you know what? I'm in a BG's. I can't look right now, but I'm going to look as soon as this game is over. I'm pretty sure I have played a Demon Hunter deck before, but, you know, I could be wrong. So we'll find out.
Anyway, this is a real deck. This is very good. This is a great option, especially if you prefer aggro day one. Another good day one deck that I would consider using to climb quickly is some version of Horror Priest. We have showcased this in the past as being a good budget deck, being very cheap. Something I'm going to try tomorrow, instead of Renew, which is one of like the last flex bots in the deck, I'm going to try Nightshade Tea. It's 1 mana. It's free if you use it with Radiant Elemental. It's got 3 charges. It can get Grave Horror down quickly and also kills a Treasure Distributor. You're tanking 2 from casting it, but I like it. I want to try it. And you still have, as a backup plan, the Potion, Wave of Apathy, make a big thing, take a big thing from your opponent and swing it at their face as a possible win condition. This deck is very happy that Null Rogue is dead, and it looks very good. Combo Priest, some form of Inner Fire Priest, is looking like arguably the best deck in the format. I don't know if we're differentiating right now between the Potion combo Inner Fire version or the Horror Inner Fire or the like Horror Priest. Like, I'm not running Inner Fire, I'm running Bless. This version of Miracle Priest or the Sister Slavana version, which you guys know I think is incredibly fake, but people swear by it up and down who are better players than me. Some version of this deck is very good. I think with 2 Shadow Word Devours and the Nightshade Teas, this is very well positioned to beat up on Pirate decks if Pirate decks are still swimming around tomorrow. Another deck that's arguably the best in the format right now is some version of Lion Hunter. This buff was so weird because people were like, it's not a buff, it's a nerf. And then it turns out like the win rate for the deck is actually going up. So I think Mystery Egg going all in on a Bran, Lion on a Naval Mine combo is good. I think something that's understated that people are not talking enough about when it comes to the deck is the amount of lions you get doing the usual egg stuff. If you play Dead on a Mystery Egg, and that gets you 2 lions when the Mystery Egg dies, and the lion dies. Now you have 2 free lions. One Feign Death can get you a bunch of lions. You're still like have infinite trades, and you're still putting up anywhere from like 16 to 21 power, turn after turn after turn that can get reloaded. I think people are understating like how much board pressure you can still put on with this deck, following up with the crazy mind combo for extra reach. So this deck keeps looking like it's getting better and better in the stats. This is what Tom Carter's using as of a couple days ago. He's in my chat right now.
Hi, Tom.
He can probably send an updated list, or he's going to keep tweaking and checking and looking and seeing what cards he likes, what cards he doesn't like over the long term. But this is a decent option. Now, this deck, in theory, is worse into aggro. It doesn't want to see aggro. So as far as day one decks goes, it's a little bit dicey, but like you can do just as well as you can. Like farming some of the slower stuff. And the meta is slowing down. All right. One of the other decks that seems to be a big winner in the format is some form of hostage and or light show mage. I'm trying cards like Messmaker as partly anti-aggro. You guys have seen me play this deck a million times if you've watched the channel at all. Essentially what we're looking to do is play a light show, play a Potion of Illusion from our ETC or one that we've generated through Savara or Pupil, play multiple Romaths, basically set up a situation where we cannot die, we're basically invincible, and Romath is repeating over and over Light Show, which is scaling into a win condition. Ping Mage has a very good win rate right now in the stats. Corbett cut all the ping crap and just went straight for combo. Two cards that he was using that I didn't like was he's running double objection. I don't like running double objection in this list. And if you're running double objection and two ice blocks, you're running two of Ancient Mysteries. So I cut one Ancient Mysteries. I cut the double objections. And I'm running Messmaker and I think double Sleepy Resident, which is very nice into board-based stuff. This deck is legend viable. This deck is real. This deck is a nightmare. If this deck becomes popular and has a strong win rate and looks like it's tier 1 like it is, it's sort of a damning indictment on the dev team spending time nerfing Girl instead of nerfing Ice Block, like the community as a whole generally agrees is a thing that should happen. Ice Block should have always come before Girl. I think we got Girl instead of Ice Block because they thought, well, this fixes Mage, and it doesn't. So do your duty, chat. Spam the hell out of something like this to make it clear that this is the problem. Last but not least, sort of a meta call that I'm going to make. The deck I really wanted to play day one was some form of extra large Odin list. I think it's going to eat pirates for lunch. I think it's going to beat Shadow Priest. It could be a very, very, very good day one deck. The deck that this doesn't want to see is some sort of Hostage Mage that's basically an auto loss. Though, if you do check out my 12-win run on my Brawlysium, my second one, I did beat a Hostage Mage through Ice Block and through Alibis and whatnot. So you can get there, but it's really, 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 really freaking hard. This does fine into slow stuff. The cards that I've changed since my 12-win run, I've taken out Safety Goggles and I've put in Frozen Buckler, with Pirate DH being the more common aggro deck with Hose and Roughhousers running around. I really want to make sure my Shield Shatters couldn't cost 0 as early as turn 2. So I added in Bucklers instead of the Safety Goggles. It's kind of nice because if you just rip a Buckler and then the next turn, your Stone Skin Armor is online. Do I like Buckler better than Safety Goggles? I think they're about 50-50. I think they're about 50-50 as far as which one you prefer. It's flex either way. I also cut the Shield Slams in favor of Minefield. I was looking for something to do on 2 into really strong Pirate openers, and Minefield looks really, really tasty for me. Treasure Distributor, Parachute Brigand, Patches gets cleared by Minefield. So I'm running double Minefield as an option for taking care of strong Pirate openers. If I'm seeing a bunch of aggro and a bunch of Pirate decks, I'm going to play this deck because I have the reps with it. If I'm seeing a bunch of mages and slow stuff, I don't know if it's necessarily my go-to, but I can beat slow stuff with this, so I think it's pretty good as long as you're dodging Ice Block. So those are 5 decent options, I think, as far as day 1 goes. If you want a bonus 6th, I think Big Shaman's pretty good. I see a lot of people run to Fairy Tale Forests. I think Fairy Tale Forest and Big Shaman generally, listening to somebody who plays a lot of this archetype in Doc Delight, he thinks the second one's bait. It's a bad draw, and typically what you want your high roll to be is Muck Morpher in hand with Auction House Gavel. With Coin Auction House Gavel, you can get a Muck Morpher down on 3, which is a turn you would be playing the Fairy Tale Forest normally. So it's slower than your high roll, but also it's a 3rd Muck Morpher, so like it's nice to have one as an option, but maybe not the best to run to, especially because the second one's a dead draw. I cut Eurekas for, I think, for my Rockbiter weapons, because a Rockbiter weapon can kill a Void Touch Attendant. We're running Ziliax because Ziliax. Do I think it's great in the list? Maybe not. Maybe that should be an Eureka, or maybe that can be like Brucon or something, but this deck's trying to blow you out early. I like having the jam sessions and the Rockbiter weapons on a Walking Mountain, because just one of those is dealing 28 damage once you get it all queued up. So those are 6 decks that I think you could try day 1 that are good into the meta. Make sure that you consider liking, subscribing, and commenting on the video, as that'll help my little YouTube grow. And thank you very much for 1 year of streaming. I haven't started the YouTube since April, but tonight I'm celebrating 1 year streaming. Good luck tomorrow.